In the years since the successful Cheers spinoff, Frasier, went off the air, some of its familiar faces have left us. From one of the show's main characters to a famous American astronaut, here are some Frasier stars we've sadly lost. For 11 seasons, John Mahoney played Martin Crane on Frasier, a role that brought him 2 Emmy nominations.
The man can do things with eels you just wouldn't believe.
I arrested a guy for that once.
Sadly, Mahoney died in 2018 at age 77, with TMZ later revealing the cause of death to be lung cancer, brain disease, and seizures. In an interview with Fox News shortly before his death, Mahoney candidly discussed overcoming cancer twice previously. He explained, "I just absolutely refused to be beaten by it." Mahoney gravitated toward acting fairly late in life, after immigrating to the US from his native England at age 19. He spent years working as an English teacher, and then as associate editor of a medical journal before pursuing his passion for theater. He said, "I just felt I had to try acting one more time. And if I fail, I fail. But if I don't, maybe I can find some sort of happiness and fulfillment in life." Ultimately, Mahoney joined Chicago's famed Steppenwolf Theater Company, which led to roles in such films as Moonstruck, Say Anything, and In the Line of Fire, to name just a few. Martin Crane's dog, Eddie, became one of television's most popular canine characters.
You know why you're here, don't you? Well, now listen, it's for your own good. Believe me, you'll be much happier afterwards.
Eddie was played by Moose, a Jack Russell Terrier who passed away at the old age of 16 in 2006. In addition to playing Eddie, Moose has also played the titular dog in the movie My Dog Skip. According to the New York Post, Moose retired midway through the course of Frasier and was replaced by his own son, Enzo. Like his dad, Enzo lived until age 16, dying in 2010. Funny enough, Moose wasn't particularly fond of his on-screen owner. Mahoney said of his canine co-star in an interview with Fox News, "He bit me twice." However, he conceded that on the whole, he and Moose got along in the end. He joked, "He was a temperamental actor as far as I'm concerned." Frasier attracted some A-list guest stars during its run. Among these was Oscar nominee Bob Hoskins, who played Frasier's abusive high school gym teacher in a series of flashbacks to his school days.
Come on, Crane! Nobody is going home until you haul that fat bucket of lard to the top!
I can't.
Just over a decade after he guest starred in that 2003 episode, Hoskins died at age 71. His wife and children said in a statement, "Bob died peacefully at hospital last night, surrounded by family, following a bout of pneumonia." Hoskins' role on Frasier was one small piece of an impressive acting career. Beginning on British television in the early 1970s, Hoskins caught Hollywood's attention thanks to standout performances in the 1978 British TV miniseries Pennies from Heaven, which was followed by starring roles in the films The Long Good Friday and Mona Lisa, the later earning Hoskins his first and only Oscar nomination. Hoskins went on to even bigger fame in numerous Hollywood productions, but will always be best remembered for playing Toontown P.I. Eddie Valiant in Disney's blend of live action and animation, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Robert Loggia was already an established Hollywood star when he guest starred in a 2000 episode of Frasier playing Stefano, owner of an Italian restaurant whose gruff and terrifying demeanor once left Niles suffering PTSD as a child. When Frasier learns he'll be honored by having a caricature of himself hanging on the restaurant's wall, Niles is still so scarred decades later that he refuses to step foot inside the eatery.
Who knows this gentleman? Looks familiar to me.
Oh, this is my brother Niles.
Ah, of course. You have the family foreign, huh? Come on.
Loggia died in 2015 at age 85, leaving behind a film and TV legacy that almost any actor would be envious of. Loggia was a frequent television guest star throughout the 1960s and 1970s, breaking out into film with a supporting role in 1982's An Officer and a Gentleman. His high-profile turn as the Miami mob boss deposed by Al Pacino's Tony Montana in 1983's Scarface led to further big-screen work, including such films as Prizzy's Honor, Jagged Edge, and Big, in which he's shown as the toy company owner who hires Tom Hanks' boy in a man's body character. Who can forget the iconic scene when he dances with Hanks on the toy store's giant piano keys? Other notable roles include a multi-episode arc on The Sopranos in which he plays Feech LaManna, an old capo who butts heads with Tony one too many times. In a 1990 interview with the New York Times, Loggia explained his career longevity. He revealed, I am a character actor in that I play many different roles, and I'm virtually unrecognizable from one role to another, so I never wear out my welcome. René Auberjonois had already developed a well-established career as a character actor when he guest starred on Frasier. First seen in the series' 8th season, Auberjonois portrayed Frasier's Harvard professor, Dr. William Tewksbury. When Frasier is set to receive a Lifetime Achievement Award, he takes offense at the seemingly innocuous note of congratulations sent by his one-time mentor. This leads Frasier to a confrontation with Tewksbury, which results in a psychiatric session where Tewksbury helps him face the fact that he's used his career as a way to distance himself from people.
And once it's gone, all you'll have left is that frightened 8-year-old boy.
The character makes another appearance later that same season, when Frasier experiences the surprise of discovering that Tewksbury is dating his producer, Roz. Appearing on Frasier was a brief pit stop for Auberjonois, who died in 2019 at age 79. For sci-fi fans, the actor will remain best known for playing Odo, the shape-shifting head of security on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Other significant roles include playing Father Mulcahy in director Robert Altman's MASH, and Chief of Staff Clayton Endicott III on the sitcom Benson. Actress Alex Playten was seen in the 6th season of Frasier, playing the recurring role of Martin's then-girlfriend, Bonnie.
Yeah, Martin invited me. He was real cute about it. He checked with all the waitresses to find out if I was single.
Oh.
Prior to her 2011 death at age 63, one of Playten's most memorable roles was in an Alka-Seltzer commercial, playing a newlywed bride whose first home-cooked meal has given her husband some serious indigestion. As a stage actor in New York City, one of Playten's earliest roles was in the off-Broadway production of National Lampoon's Lemmings, a nihilistic Woodstock satire in which she co-starred with future Saturday Night Live stars John Belushi and Chevy Chase. Playten also put her distinctive high voice to good use as a voice actor for cartoons such as Doug and My Little Pony. In addition to Frasier, Playten's many television credits included The Cosby Mysteries, Law & Order, and Third Watch. Trained at London's prestigious Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, William Morgan Sheppard was an actor's actor whose career spanned 6 decades before his 2019 death at age 86. He made a guest appearance in the episode The Club, where Niles and Frasier attempt to sabotage the other's chances of being accepted into Seattle's prestigious Empire Club. Sheppard played Mr. Drake, the club's president.
This leather's as soft as a baby's bottom. Yes, on family night we bring the babies in and do a blindfold comparison test.
It's Sheppard's association with the Star Trek franchise, however, for which he's best remembered. He played the recurring role of Dr. Ira Graves in Star Trek The Next Generation, and also appeared in an episode of Voyager. On the big screen, he appeared in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country, and in 2009's Star Trek reboot movie. Of the many, many guest stars to drop by Frasier during the course of the show's 11-season run, arguably one of the most legendary was Donald O'Connor, a song and dance man of the highest order. O'Connor's storied roster of screen credits include the classic Hollywood musical Singing in the Rain and umpteen Francis the Talking Mule movies. Prior to his 2003 death at age 78, one of O'Connor's final roles was playing wealthy timber baron Harlow Safford in the Crane vs. Crane episode of Frasier.
This is sort of fun, isn't it?
Not on you.
Niles is hired as an expert witness by Safford's son in his effort to have his father legally declared senile. Frasier, however, gets to know the elder Safford and comes to believe his mental faculties are intact. As a result, Frasier agrees to testify against his brother in the trial. The same year he appeared on Frasier, O'Connor also appeared in a guest spot on The Nanny. O'Connor's final screen role was in the 1997 cruise ship comedy Out to Sea, which reteamed the Odd Couple stars Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. Character actor Robert Prosky landed his big break when he was cast alongside James Caan in the atmospheric 1981 thriller Thief. That ultimately led to a role in an iconic TV hit when he joined Hill Street Blues as Sergeant Stan Yablonsky, who took over the veteran cop Sergeant Phil Esterhaus after the actor who portrayed him, Michael Conrad, died of cancer in 1983. Prosky, who died in 2008 at age 77, made a memorable appearance on Frasier. In his guest spot, Prosky played famously reclusive author T.H. Houghton, loosely based on A Catcher in the Rye writer J.D. Salinger. He befriends Martin at a sports bar and winds up scrapping his latest manuscript due to a critique from Niles and Frasier.
You're absolutely right.
This whole book is crap.
Other Prosky credits of note include big screen roles in Last Action Hero, The Natural, Broadcast News, Gremlins 2, and Mrs. Doubtfire. David Ogden Stiers was a familiar face to television viewers of the 1970s and 1980s for his portrayal of snobbish Major Charles Emerson Winchester III on MASH. More than a decade after that series wrapped, Stiers made a guest starring appearance on Frasier. In Stiers' 2003 episode, titled Fathers and Sons, he plays Leland Barton, the former research assistant to Hester Crane, later mother of Niles and Frasier. After spending some time with Leland, Martin notices some marked similarities between Leland's characteristics and those of her sons, leading him to question whether Leland is their real father and not him. Prior to Stiers' 2018 death from bladder cancer at age 75, he had amassed a staggering array of screen credits. In addition to his MASH role, these included voice roles in several of Disney's animated films, appearing in Beauty and the Beast, Pocahontas, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Lilo and Stitch. Stiers also had recurring roles in Stargate Atlantis and the sitcom Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. John Glenn was the third American in history to venture off the planet into outer space, and the first U.S. astronaut to orbit the Earth. Later serving for 4 terms as United States Senator, Glenn was also a Frasier guest star. The NASA icon played himself in a 2001 episode, docudrama, which featured Roz getting the go-ahead from management to produce a radio documentary about space travel. The initial plan is for Frasier to narrate, until he exits the project when Roz discards all the ideas he shoots at her while staying firm with her vision of the project.
You know, I thought we might intercut between the Russian and American programs and build up the tension of the space race.
I don't think so.
She ultimately brings Glenn on board as a replacement narrator, which irks Frasier to no end.
Some people ask, were you alone out there?
Frasier isn't just Glenn's most memorable TV guest starring role, it's his only one. His only other screen credits were providing his voice to the 2003 TV documentary Kitty Hawk, The Wright Brothers' Journey of Invention, and voicing former U.S. President Rutherford B. Hayes in the 2003 documentary The American President. Occasionally, viewers met Martin Crane's former colleagues from his years as a Seattle police officer. Bill Gratton played one such pal, Leo, who initially appeared in the second season, featured in the episode Dukes We Hardly Knew Ya. Gratton returned as Leo later that season in the episode Retirement is Murder, then again in the 5th season's Where Every Bloke Knows Your Name. It wouldn't be surprising if Gratton's face seems familiar to anyone who watched a lot of television in the 1980s and 90s. Among his many screen credits are such TV series as Seinfeld and ER. Interestingly enough, prior to Frasier, Gratton also appeared in a 1991 episode of Cheers, from which Frasier spun off, playing a justice of the peace. Sadly, Gratton died in 2011 at age 71, with his obituary noting that he'd be remembered for, quote, his sense of humor, both whimsical and pointed, his love of military history, and his lifelong dedication to the art and craft of acting. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more list videos about your favorite celebrities are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.